Hi and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Sire S5, and this is in a 3-tone burst. If I can get a good shot for you, because this is a gorgeous one. Go ahead and just get it out of the, see if I can get the ring light out of here. Now I did cherry pick this. I went through to Sweetwater and looked at the S3, S5, and S7s. There's about 13 of them, I think, 13 or 14. Anyhow, this was by far the best looking one as far as the wood grains and the seams. Just like, unfortunately, all the other major companies and smaller companies out there I've seen, when it comes to book matching their wood grains, most of these were pretty bad. This one and one of the S3s was really nice. The rest of them, you had like a straight grain here, and then a curved grain here, and then maybe a different grain or a darker piece down here. Most of them appeared to be 3-piece. This one appears to be 2-piece. I cannot find the second seam, or second seam on this for the third piece. So this might actually be a 2-piece. However, that's kind of irrelevant for this part of the conversation. What I did find looking around was that, unfortunately, they're no better than the other companies. You might find a piece down here that's dark. You're going to see mismatched colorings, mismatched patterns. I think that's just the nature of the beast. That's the way it is. So, like I said, I went to Sweetwater. That way I could see the wood grain because I knew I wanted the 3-color finish because they do a really nice job on this 3-color. This is a beautiful 3-tone burst. Okay, so besides that, when I went looking for these online, one of the big problems I found, the S3s only have rosewood fretboards, the S5s only have maple fretboards, and the S7s only have roasted maple. Some of this will be changing with their, I think they call it the new gen or next gen that are coming out soon, later this summer. But for now, that's the option. So that was kind of a bummer because I did want rosewood on this. Okay, so the S5 does not have an HSS option. The S3 and the S7 do. It is going to get one, but right now it doesn't have one. And I did notice on the others that when you go to HSS, you lose one of the tone controls and you're back to 1-and-1. So that was some things I didn't like about it when I was looking for one, but that's okay. Overall, these are great guitars. One more thing about this guitar that I don't like, because I always like to get into the stuff I do like and spend most of my time on it. One of the big things is the output jack is on the bottom. Not a huge deal, but as a Strat player, I'm used to having it up here. I like it up here. It's a little more out of my way. I'll be honest, my leg might bang that standing up playing, walking around. The only other thing about this guitar I don't really care for is the contour for the arm. It could be a little more. It's not bad, but it could be better. It's comfortable enough. If you're not a 20+ year Strat player, you won't even notice it probably. But as someone who plays Strats for over 20 years, that's one of the few things I noticed playing this guitar. I mean, everything else about it's really comfortable. Obviously, it doesn't feel like it's from the other company, but it's got a nice neck and everything. So that was just one of the things that, okay, not a big deal, but it is a little light on the carve. The only other negative I could really throw at this guitar and at the brand right now is that you can't order replacement pick guards that I could find. And like this, I don't like tortoiseshell. This doesn't look bad on here, but if you want to change it right now, it's not really an option. But again, these are all nitpicks. These are great guitars. I'm going to get into the specs in a minute, but I wanted to cover those few things. The only issue this guitar has as far as function is the B string on the nut isn't cut quite right. So when you bend it, let's see if I can get you to hear this. And what that is, that ping ping noise on the bend, is that when they cut the nut down at the bottom, there's a little piece of what they call flash. It'll wear out. I'll probably go in and file it out before then. But that's the only imperfection with the guitar. It looks beautiful. It plays great. It sounds great. This is completely factory setup. So I love these guitars. I think, honestly, it's the best Strat style guitar I've played that's not a Fender, and that includes Squires. This is better than any Squire I've ever played. I do like the contour on the Classic Vibe body just because it's more like a Fender, but this is by far a superior guitar. And if I was going to recommend one out of the box, a Sire versus a Fender, if you're not a Strat player, I'd probably go with this just because of the price difference. But I will say I still actually prefer playing my Fender, all of them, but not my Squires. And really, this is real close to some of my Fenders as far as how much I've enjoyed playing it over the last week. I've put a lot of hours on this. Okay, so now that you know that I love the guitars, think they're great, and definitely the best alternative to a Strat out there I've seen. I have not ever played anything other than a Fender Strat that played this much like a Strat, felt this good. So for me, this is a great alternative to the Fender Strat. It's by far the best I've played. Okay, let's go over the specs. We have an alder body, and it has a slight arm contour, a belly carve, and it has a slightly carved heel joint. Makes it a little easier access. Now you do have a little longer horn here and a little shorter horn here. No big deal, that's strictly cosmetic. A little more access, but it plays great. Okay, you have a 2-point tremolo with 6 rolled saddles. And it does have a full block. Now, I will say that the pickups and the tremolo, same thing you get on the S7. The S7 is a more modern version of the S5. It's got Canadian maple fretboard, locking tuners, HSS, and compound radius. And its HSS has coil split. So that's the big differences there. So it's same tremolo, same pickups. They're 3L Nico pickups. Tone, a volume and 2 tones. Now these are fairly smooth. They're not super fast, but they're not real stiff. Nice 5-way switch. So the electronics in this work great. I'll probably lower the pickups. Right now they're fairly high. They're set from the factory. And I don't ever adjust anything until after I do a review on it. But overall, the electronics, everything works great, feels great. You can roll the volume down nice and easy. You can get to your tones nice and easy. They work smooth. So nothing to complain about there at all. You do also have a little recess right here, a little carve, a little extra comfort. Now, the neck on this is great. We have a maple neck and fretboard. It's a satin finish on the back and a gloss finish on the front. So it's a C shape. It's probably closest to the modern C. Kind of reminds you of the old made Mexico standards. A few others. It's not ultra thin, but it's not super thick. It's just a nice C shape. I'm going to say it's closest to the modern C that you get on the Player series right now. Rolled fretboard edges that are really comfortable. They did a great job on that. The frets got a really nice polish on them, if you can see that. And the fret ends they feel great. And I mean, they feel really good. Like, these are some of the better fret ends I felt. So 9.5-inch radius, 22 medium jumbo frets, a bone nut. Like I said, mine seems to be cut pretty well, except for that one little issue on the B string. You do have gloss on the headstock as well. Standard sealed tuners. And the tuners are really the weak point of the guitar. Not that they're bad by any stretch. This guitar holds tune great, tunes up easily. But the tuners, they're the weak point of the guitar, as far as I've been able to tell in the 7-8 days I've had it. But I have no complaints about this guitar. The worst thing I could say is that the back doesn't look quite as good. There's something here with the finish, but I don't care. The front is gorgeous. So overall, this is a great guitar. The trim's nice and smooth on it, even though I don't use them a lot except on my Floyd Rose guitars. It's got a nice 2-point smooth trim. Like I said, everything just plays, works, sounds, feels great. I have no complaints about this guitar overall. Like I said, there's some personal preferences, but even those, they don't matter. Not with this guitar. This is very nice for the money. It's very nice in general. What this shows, really, is that the bigger companies, they can come down in their price a bit. This guitar is not terribly expensive. It's under $500 new. It's $470 brand new. So what this tells me is that you could have something like the Fender Player 2 Strat easily for $500 to $600 versus $800. Don't get me wrong, this does not feel as good as my Player 2. I like my Player 2 better. However, you've got a very nice alder body, a very nice trim, very good pickups, a very nice neck, frets done well. So there is no reason that these bigger companies can't put out something like this in a similar price range, maybe a little bit more, but yeah, this definitely is a good guitar. It's made in Indonesia. I know that's going to bother some people, but it's excellent craftsmanship. I can't wait to see how this holds up. I'm going to keep this. That's why I was so picky about the wood grain, is I bought this for me. I want to see how these really stand up over time. Because as I said, as far as I'm concerned, these are the best Strat alternatives I've ever played. This is a really good guitar. Now, the S7 and S10s I have no real interest in because of the compound radius they have. But if you're looking for something more like, say, the American Ultra 2 series, while still made in Indonesia, their S7s have the compound radius, the locking tuners. You can get them with HSS and coil split. So there's some good stuff out there. Now, they do have some changes coming. They're going to be adding HSS to this line. You're going to be able to get rosewood on the S7s. A few other changes are coming. I think Alnicos are going to be in the S3s. So I do recommend going to Sire's website and look at what's coming out if you're looking to buy a Sire. While these are great, what's out right now, they're going to be making some changes that I think make the brand even better, even stronger. So other than some carve issues and the jack being on the bottom, really, even my personal taste, this guitar does a really good job of hitting, much less just being a good Strat. So I highly recommend this guitar. I just can't say really anything bad about them. All right, let's go ahead and hear it. Okay, that is the Sire S5. Again, this is three-tone burst. And these guitars are great. I definitely recommend them. This is under $500 brand new. So if you're looking for a Strat or Strat style guitar, or just an alternative to the Strat you already have, something feels a little different but still familiar, this is it. This really is a nice guitar. These necks feel really comfortable. It's a joy to play. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content, please click like and subscribe. Click the bell icon to stay notified. Leave me some comments and suggestions. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, keep playing.